Hi friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. Do you struggle with productivity? Well, welcome to the club. I think you're not alone. Ticking off tasks in a timely manner is easier said than done sometimes. You see, mastering productivity is an art, but it's an art form that can be learned. Grab a pen so you can note down these 10 recommendations I have for you that will allow you to more effectively boost your productivity, and chances are you'll get far more done in less time if you follow these recommendations, okay? Now, these are great for business, great for work, great for our personal lives. I think one of the biggest mistakes we make is we think, hey, I have a calendar at work, that's for my business meetings, but when you get home, you leave all that behind, and we forget that setting appointments for ourselves, organizing our personal lives as effectively as we organize our business lives can really help us to get more done, be more productive, and also be happier as we're working towards accomplishing our primary goal, right? So the first one is quit multitasking. Multitasking is a bunch of crap. You know, it's one of the biggest things that kills productivity in my opinion. You know, you might think that juggling multiple tasks at once is helping you get more done in less time, but I feel that you couldn't be more wrong. You see, if you don't give your full attention to the single task at hand, you'll cause your concentration to waver. Now, this is the most effective and powerful supercomputer ever known to mankind, and I'm telling you that it works best when it has a primary focal objective to accomplish. So if we have 20 things that we need to do on Saturday and we're going from thing to thing, by the end of the day you probably only got 3 of them done, right? You've done that before. And it's because I'm recommending we quit multitasking. We don't jump from task to task. What we do is set our list of items we want to accomplish. Do number 1, check. We don't worry about the rest until 1 is done. We get 1 done, or as much of it done as we can get done in that given period of time, and then we move to 2. We work on 2 with our full focus and full effort, and then 3, and so on down the list. Now, it's going to require you to prioritize your list, but if you quit multitasking and start focusing this supercomputer on a primary objective, you're going to get more done in less time. You're going to be less stressed. You're going to feel happier. You're going to look great. You know, I believe in you, and I know you can get it done. Now, one of the next things that I recommend is work when you're most productive. I believe that productivity doesn't have a set time. You know, we're all made differently, meaning that when you're most productive, it's probably different from me. You see, I'm a night owl, and I will happily stay up till 2, 3, 4, 5. I can pull an all-nighter. Give me a cracker and a bottle of water, and I'm going. Because when I got this thing focused, let me tell you, get out of my way. I'm going to get it done. But you might be more of a morning person. So for you, starting things off at the beginning of the day is better. Perfectly fine. And so I don't believe that productivity has a given time schedule. You see, the time schedules that we all tend to follow for productivity are those which were given to us from our forefathers in the manufacturing industry, right? Factories had set times or set schedules for workers to come in and accomplish their tasks and then go home. We've taken that 9 to 5 schedule and just transitioned that over into the business world, giving no thought to the uniqueness of the human individual and that our potential is based on our specific uniqueness. So when I get things done, it may actually be different from you, but it doesn't mean either of us are any less than, right? We're just unique, and that's what makes us special and amazing individuals. You know, I get my surges of energy and inspiration at different times of the day, and that's perfectly okay. Now, you just need to more effectively identify when you're getting your surges. When is your inspiration coming? When are you most productive? And then use that energy, that inspiration, and that time to get the primary things done in the day that you need to get done. You know, and it's kind of nice because now we work in this world, right, where we have the ability to work remotely. So you have more of an opportunity now than you've ever had in the past to work when your schedule fits your rhythm. So take advantage of that. Be an effective worker and thrive in the times when your body feels the best, when you have the energy, and when you're most productive. I also like to recommend for you a little something here, okay? The next thing I want to recommend is something that I've taught my kids, and it's something that really works. I'm going to cure your procrastination in just a few sentences here, okay? Try the 5-minute rule. Don't underestimate how productive you can be in a very small window of time. In just 5 minutes, you can turn your attention to the things you've been putting off for days or even weeks. Here's how you do it. This is really cool. So let's say it's 7 o'clock in the evening and you've been putting your spouse or somebody's been asking you to get something done. You're on the couch and you're thinking, there is no way I'm getting that done. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm saying instead of waiting until tomorrow, it's 7 o'clock. Tell yourself at 7:05, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do that thing that they've been asking me to do until 7:10. So for 5 minutes, I'm going to focus on that task. I'm telling you what, 8 out of 10 times, you'll just keep working and you'll get it done. You'll feel better because you've been putting something off and you finally got that off your list. You can do it at work. You can do it anytime you feel like you're procrastinating or you feel unmotivated to get something done that you know that you need to get accomplished. You're sitting at the office and you're just kind of thinking, boy, I tell you what, the clock's going slow today. I just don't think I'm going to be able to make it until 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock. And, but you have a list of things to get done. So pick a primary task and say, hey, I'm going to give myself a few more moments to just sit here and relax and rest and daydream. Because remember, people who daydream are actually more intelligent than those who don't. Take some time to relax. And then say at 2 o'clock or in a very near period of time, if it's 2 o'clock, maybe give yourself 5 more minutes and say, okay, at 2:05, I'm going to spend 5 minutes and I am going to be as productive as I can possibly be on that one thing. I'm telling you, at 2:30, you'll probably find yourself ready for a 5-minute break. And you'll find that you've probably accomplished most of the work that needs to be done. You'll feel invigorated. You'll feel positive. You'll feel great and less stressed knowing that, hey, I've got a lot of this work done I've been putting off. Just focus for 5 minutes. It'll change everything for you. Okay? I believe in you, and I know you can do it. Just give this a try. It'll change everything. Now, another thing that I think is very important in being productive is mapping out your time. And I had talked about this a few moments ago. Don't underestimate the power of time blocking if you want to boost your productivity, because I'm telling you, mapping out your time is one of the best actions you can take if you want to get more done in less time. This strategy is going to help you achieve your goals in a timely manner. And now that you have the ability to overcome procrastination, I would like for you to also consider another technique of time blocking. You may already do this to a certain extent. You have a calendar at work where you use it to block out meetings you have to attend. And if you're like me, it's usually more meetings than work. But I want to recommend that you also use that calendar to block out times in which you can be effective in allocating that time to a specific task. So what you'll do is say you have something that needs to be turned in on Thursday to your boss. So on Sunday, sit down, think about your week. You'll think, hey, I do have the thing coming up on Thursday. So on Monday from 9 till 9:30, I'm going to work just on that. And I'm also going to schedule some more time to work on that on Wednesday from 2 to 3. When PMs or your boss or anybody else comes along and tries to set up a meeting for you, you'll already have your schedule blocked for the primary things you need to accomplish during the week. So use your calendar as an effective tool. It's amazing. It'll help you get things done. It's also harder to procrastinate when you have a schedule set before you of things you know. Your supercomputer knows what's coming next, and you'll feel more efficient and you'll feel much less cluttered and less stressed if you have an effective calendar of events for your day's activities. Now, I think Sunday evening is a great time to sit down for 30 minutes, think about the week ahead and what needs to be accomplished. You might have some recurring tasks where you can set up a repetitive meeting that occurs maybe every Wednesday and Thursday, or, you'll block out time that's important. You'll block out time in an effective way to accomplish the things that are important to you. Now, you can also do that with your time in the evenings. You get off work at 5 o'clock, you're home by 6. You have things at home that need to be done. Create a list. Remember, everywhere you go, you now carry with you something similar to what I carry with me, and that's my black book. We take that with us everywhere we go, right? And when we come up with great ideas on how to accomplish our goals or things we want to do in our life, we can write it down in our black book, right? So you can also write down a schedule of events and things that need to be accomplished in a given day in that book as well. It's something you can reference back to when you get home. But blocking out your time is a very effective way at removing procrastination and being more productive. You're going to be really surprised when you focus on a few tasks and you just primarily focus on those things and work towards getting them done. It reduces your stress. You sleep better at night. You feel better. You're healthier. You know what? I believe in you. I know you can do it. Try some time blocking in the coming days and see if it makes you more efficient. I know it will. And I just want you to be happy and healthy. And I think this is a great recommendation for you. Okay? Now, one thing I think is really important is scheduling breaks. We talked about scheduling work, but don't forget to schedule yourself some breaks. Breaks are necessary. You'll want to take a regular break if you want to get more done in less time. Now, it sounds counterintuitive, but breaks will actually boost your productivity massively. So in other words, stepping away for a moment invigorates us, right? We're already doing this for the most part, but I want you to do it in coordination with your work effort as you're doing it in coordination with your social effort. So we know that in our social circumstances, when we get into a difficult or some sort of a conversation or event which we don't feel comfortable with, or we need to take a break from, we in the kindest and nicest way excuse ourselves from that moment. We go somewhere. It could be alone, it could be with others, it doesn't matter, but we take a deep breath, and then over and over we read our primary goal, get ourselves back on track, and then we move back into the moment with a more effective ability to accomplish what needs to be done, or a more effective ability to help others, right? Because that's for the most part the primary goal, friends. I believe in you, and I know you want to help people as much as I do. Now, I don't suggest taking hours off. Don't work for 10 minutes and then take 3 hours and then come back and work for 10 minutes. But I believe that stepping away from what you're doing for a moment will reinvigorate you in ways that will help you to be more productive. You feel like you're losing time, but you'll actually be gaining energy and focus. And when you gain energy and focus, you can get a ton of things done in a very short period of time. So I always hear people say, "Oh, I don't have time to take a break. I didn't have time to take lunch. I'm so busy." Well, I'm telling you, that probably within the given work time that they actually were trying to accomplish tasks, if they would have taken a few breaks and maybe stepped away from lunch, put some nutrition in their bodies and fed their supercomputer in the actual time where they were focusing on getting things done, they would have gotten more done in a more efficient manner. The ideas would have flowed more easily. They would have come up with more effective solutions. They would have accomplished more. It works that way for every single person, every single time. We're all the same. Nobody has some bionic body where their body works more efficiently and has the ability to just work for 50 hours straight with no break because they're super person. That is not it at all, okay? We're all human beings. We all need to take a break. Sometimes it makes us really efficient, and fills us up with some new energy if we just step away. I want you to feel comfortable with taking a break, okay? I know that we live in a society where you got to be productive and it's heads down all the time and all that, but take a moment, and open yourself up to some new ideas. Open yourself up to some new energy and just take a break. 5 minutes is usually enough to get reinvigorated and to be able to step back into the work that you were doing. And you're going to be better for it. Now, one other technique I want to recommend is known as the Pomodoro technique. Now, this is a really cool technique. It's a time management method. Excuse me, I got a little cold going on. I was in Denver, Colorado for the Nuggets big NBA win last night, and it's been very rainy lately, and I think may have picked up a little something. But the Pomodoro technique is a time management method that's based on a rhythm of doing 25 minutes of work, followed by a 5-minute break, no more than 4 times consecutively. Okay, so we use this in conjunction with our time blocking method. So I have time set aside, and in this case, if you had a big task that needed to be accomplished, and you thought, hey, this is going to take all 4 25-minute blocks of time, you would schedule a 100-minute time. 100-minute time or you block that out on your calendar, okay? And then you label it your primary task or objective that you are going to accomplish during those 4 25-minute time periods. They should be consecutive, one after another, okay? So you'd work for 25 minutes on that primary task or objective, take a 5-minute break. Go right back to work on that task or objective. Get right back into it after your 5-minute break for 25 more minutes. Then take another 5-minute break. You might be done with your work then, and that's okay. If you're done completely with your task after those 2 blocks of time, take a 15-minute break and then step back into some new 25-minute blocks of work, okay? But let's say you're continuing on the same task. Work your third 25-minute block of time. Then take another 5-minute break. You're almost done with your work now, so can come right back to your desk, get right back into it, work for that final 25 minutes, and then instead of taking a 5-minute break after the 4th 25-minute time frame, I'm going to ask you to take a 30-minute break. I think at that point in time, you will have accomplished more than you could ever possibly imagine. You'll need a little bit longer of a break to kind of allow your supercomputer to reorganize the programming, get back on track, and to consider the next tasks that need to be accomplished, okay? But you can time block your time out and utilize this Pomodoro technique to engage in tasks, and you'll get more done than you ever thought you possibly could. 25-minute blocks of time, concentrated work effort. I know you can do it. Give it a shot. It works for everybody every time, and it's amazing. We're all a little different. You may need to tweak these things a little bit for you because you're unique and amazing. But I tell you what, these are just recommendations on how I've seen things flow and function in a more efficient manner. Remember, they're just my recommendations. Inevitably, you're going to do what works best for you. So, it's kind of funny because another thing that I recommend and another a topic I think we should discuss real quick is eliminating distractions. Our smartphone, everybody knows when you talk about distractions, we bring up the smartphone, right? Because it's a blessing and a curse, and it's created the biggest distraction of all, in my opinion. Right? I mean, either we're scrolling or the ping of messages or we're answering emails or somebody's constantly calling us, but in my experience, I always get a shock when I take a look at my screen use and I realize how much time I've actually been glued to that damn phone. Everybody's reaching out to me. I can get a hold of Doug on the phone. They know that's where I'm at. I usually answer. I don't even tell people don't call unless it's an emergency. I just accept all the phone calls, want to help everybody, talk to those that I can when I can. But phones can really zap our productivity. And in fact, they're one of the worst offenders when it comes to creating distractions. But you and I both know, truth be told, distractions are everywhere. It's not just our cell phones. And it's up to you to limit your distractions when it comes to focusing on an important task. And what this looks like, friends, as you know, I've recommended this in the past. Turn the damn phone off, okay? When the phone's off, that distraction is gone. Tell your friends or your coworkers you won't be around because you have something to do. It's perfectly okay to let other people know, hey, I'm going to be busy. Maybe you put up a little sign on your cubicle on the outside that says, working intently on a task, please email me, or please come back later, or come back in 25 minutes. You're working in 25-minute blocks, right? So maybe you just need to put a little note out there that says, I am working effectively, and I'll be back, and I'll get back with you. But we're always afraid, it seems like, to let others know that we're too busy to give them our attention. I'm saying don't be afraid to let other people know you're focusing on something. Another thing that I do personally and my family uses, we use noise-canceling music. There are some noise-canceling tones and white noise that we could put on in the background, and it helps us to stay uninterrupted. And one of the other things, besides turning the phone off, letting others know that you're busy right now, and attempting to do things to disguise distraction around you, noise distraction, just go somewhere and work where you're not going to be interrupted. That may mean closing the office door, locking it, pulling down the blinds, and effectively functionally working on something until the task is completed. I know these actions might sound simple, but you know what? Try them. Turn the phone off. Tell people you're busy. Go somewhere where you can effectively get some things done. In our remote world, you can close the door for the room you're in and just sit down and for specific blocks of time work on individual primary tasks without multitasking, without the distraction of the world. You're going to get so much more done. You're going to feel more productive. You're going to sleep better tonight. You're going to look great because your stress levels are going to be down. I believe in you, and I know you can do it. Also, one thing I always recommend, we always seem to put off the hard part of our task, or the big task, the complex part, until the end. I don't know why we do that, but we always seem to just take on the simple things first. I'm telling you, don't put things off because it's too big of a challenge. This is a big one for me. I've been in this situation so many times, let me tell you. It's as though I'm scared to start because I don't know where to start, right? You got so much to do. It's so complex. It's so big. It can be a real brain freeze. But something happens when we get through what we thought was a difficult part of a task. And I'll tell you what, it makes every task more enjoyable. I like to work with teams, or with my teams, on the most complex parts first. Because once the complex parts are done, the rest of it just sort of seems like a breeze, and everything just flows a little more methodically. And it's funny because sometimes when I think that this is going to be the most complex part of the project, program, or activity that I'm engaged in, 8 out of 10 times it usually ends up not being the most complex part, and what I thought was going to be simple ends up being a little bit more complex than we originally had planned for. But you know what? We can get through anything together as a team, and we plan to the best of our ability, and we get done what we can get done within the time frames that we've allotted. So the next time you find yourself stalling and feeling like you're wasting time and throwing your hands up in the air because it's too complex, I'm telling you to not quit. Stay focused. Keep working through the complex, because you know what? It'll get easier, things will get better, and you're going to get the big things done. Just don't quit. Keep pushing through. I believe in you. I know you can do it. You can push through anything. You're unique, amazing. Think back at all the things you've already been through, the things you've already accomplished. You can work through any task or objective anybody sets in front of you, and you can do it every single time. Don't worry about it. Just keep pushing through. It'll get done. Now, another thing that I do when I'm planning in order to keep workloads manageable is to set small milestones. And we do this as project and program managers, but I think that managers and other individuals just with their day-to-day life should set small, manageable objectives. Milestones are just key moments in your journey of getting to your end goal, right? And we've been setting milestones up. You've been setting milestones and objectives up on a daily basis. So you're probably already an expert on this one, and I may not even need to recommend it. What do you do every day? You wake up an hour early, sit down with a blank piece of paper, write your primary goal at the top of that piece of paper, and then you come up with 20 things every day you can do to more effectively work towards achieving your goal. You're setting up little milestones, things that are small that you can accomplish throughout the next 24 hours that will help you to achieve your goal. So you're already probably an expert at this. You can do this in many different ways, but sometimes, and as we've done in the past, I've asked you to write an essay. You wrote it out. What is your goal? What does your goal look like? If your goal was to start a business, what does the business look like? What do your employees look like? Not look like, but what types of people would you like to employ? What do you sell as a business? What type of customer base will be coming through the door to buy from you or to help you to make your business successful? Visualization and writing out visualizations will allow you to create small milestones that will effectively help you reach your goal. Okay, so in order to keep a big workload manageable, break it down into small milestones. Okay, small things you can accomplish within your given time frames, within the blocks of time you set aside to accomplish your goal. You'll get there faster, more effectively, and you'll be more productive than you ever thought you could be. Now that you have your milestones set up, you're just going to work on each one independently until they're accomplished. We're not going to multitask. We're going to prioritize our milestones, and then we're going to work them through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on until they're done. One final thing I want to talk about real quick. Don't be afraid to delegate to others. You have a home team. You have people who are interested in seeing you be successful. Being able to ask them for help and to delegate certain tasks to them will boost your productivity massively. I can get a lot done, my spouse can get a lot done, and my kids can get a lot done individually. I've seen it. I know it can happen. Their ability to accomplish independent effort is amazing. I love them, and I think they are so special with their ability to do so much. But together, if we all focus on something, we get it done like that. We work together as a team. They take a part. My spouse or my kids will take a part. My spouse will take a part. I take a part. We all get our individual tasks done, come back, and a lot of work has been accomplished. Use your team effectively. And it can mean that you're not able to give your sole attention to more pressing matters when you're helping other people out. So be careful how people delegate to you. Okay, make sure that others are attempting to utilize your time effectively, and don't be afraid to speak up. But also, be in a position where you feel comfortable delegating to others and asking other people to help you with given tasks. You'll be surprised at when you ask how many people say yes. And that's going to help you get exactly where you need to be. There are so many benefits to utilizing the recommendations that I've spoken of. Having increased levels of productivity offer a whole host of benefits beyond just getting the job done, right? Not only will being more productive mean that you're more effective and you get more done in less time, but it will boost your levels of motivation. It's going to boost you up. You're going to be a more successful person. You'll no longer be a part of the masses. You'll be a part of the few, the super productive, the highly efficient. One of the most highly efficient people can be you just by just by introducing some new small ways of doing things in a different way than you're accustomed. So in other words, you'll feel driven to complete the task at hand, and you'll feel motivated to show up for things. And friends, I want you to know I believe in you. I know you can do it. I'm just trying to help you here by making a few recommendations on how I feel you can be more productive. Try a few of them and see how it works for you. I tell you what, you're going to notice some amazing new results. You're going to feel fresher. You're going to feel better. You're going to be more successful, and it's going to be awesome. I am so excited for you. Hey, I'm going to see you tomorrow. We're going to talk about some more things. It's going to be fantastic. I care about you. Have a great evening, friends. Take care.